What the frig is going on here? What is going on here? Okay, it's that. Okay. Check one. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me make sure everything's working here. Interesting day. Let me just say something to you before we start. What's that town where I lived, Steve? Where did I go to the was it a Jiffy Lube? What freak did I go to? Hold on, I should have it. I went to the place where I go to in Salisbury, Massachusetts, and it is a great place to get the oil changed. And these guys are great. These guys are so good. Let me tell you how good these guys are. They like their jobs. They're all good at it. And like today the guy said, by the way, you have another 1,500 miles before you have to get an oil change. I just don't want to spend the money if you don't need to. It's like, like Ricky, like, hey, no, that's this great opening song. So anyway, I go in there, and they're just freaking great. They're just freaking great. These are good, and I can't find anything on them now. What the freak was the place even called? It was the place in Salisbury. Oil Change Salisbury. Come on. These guys are the best. Salisbury, Mass. Just the Valvoline instant oil change. These guys are the best. They're so freaking good. They're so freaking good. And I was just thrilled with them. I'm always thrilled with them. They're so awesome. And the most important thing about today, I think, is whether or not anything extremely honorable happened there today. And indeed it did. Indeed it did. Because I'm a really, really good person. I'm a really good person. I did something that the rest of you could learn from. If you're ever going to be as good a person as I am, and that's probably not going to happen. This is a sound. One guy says thanks as I'm leaving. He's on the phone talking to somebody. And the other guy, I want you to hear this. About to pull out. I'm starting the car. I'm starting to pull out. That's somebody else's car.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's the first guy. Second guy. I pull out some money.
Thank you. Take care. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. That's right. That's the sound of Tom Shattuck giving the oil change guy a $20 bill. That's right. Because I'm good people. I'm a very good person. Now, you have people like, let's say, Tommy from New Hampshire, who would never think of tipping, but I tip because I'm quality. I'm a good person. I'm not a person of means like those guys either. I don't have the, Steve's got a Range Rover. I do not have that. But you know what? My fellow man, could use a few extra bucks. Maybe the boys would buy some suds after their shift. How about that? These guys are so good. So good. I can't say enough about them. If I just could get my bleep together, I would tell you all about what's going on. So, all about, I would tell corporate. Can I freaking talk for a second? Jesus. Embarrassing. So, I'm going to share a couple of things with you. So, today, obviously, Graham Plattner, there's the newest thing about him. Is they caught a Reddit post where he's saying that he used to go in when he was overseas in the Marines, that the blue water from the porta potties made him horny, and he would masturbate in the porta potties. And so it's a fairly incredible piece of information for the voting public of Maine to have to take and to have to then say, okay, because if he's saying that and Reddit, like they thought they had all this stuff cleaned up in social media. They did not have it cleaned up. So one thing leads to another, and I put together this video for the Maine Wire, So here's the thing about what he talked about in Reddit about the whatever. It's a porta potty. I'm sure other people did whatever in there. And, Alice said that she thought it was just kind of like edgelord stuff. And, these are like bleep posting stuff and whatever. You try to shock people, and he's posting late at night probably and just wasted and whatever. And that's fine. You can do whatever you want and say whatever you want to, win those boards on Reddit. The moment you become a candidate, it all counts. And you guys, you wanted the Billy Bush tapes to count? Well, okay, that's fine. This counts. And it's an odd behavior. It's counter to what they're trying to build about him, because they're trying to tell us that this guy is a wholesome oyster fisherman, fought for his country, felt betrayed by it, family man trying to have use IVF to have a baby with his wife, and there's so much omitted. Like, he didn't say, he's a rich kid. His dad is loaded. His dad bought him his house. His dad bought him the IVF treatments, and he's just simply not who he said he was. He's a spoiled rich kid who was online way too often, just kind of a bum for a long time. He did serve, and that's great. He just, since he's become, he's just not who he says he is whatsoever. And he's going to have to deal with that. Now, unfortunately, the left doesn't know how to take stuff like that. So we put together, for the meanwhile, we put together a video. I do one every day, and Featherston does one every day, just kind of giving a little monologue. So we put one together today where I pretended to be him, and then I went into a porta potty and looked at the blue water, and it was disgusting, and did some stuff, right? And we made fun of him, and the people who love him are very, very, they really love him. And there are some people who love the version of Plattner who is the Reddit version, not this other fake version, the fake, like, oyster fisherman thing, which he really isn't. So listen to this. I want you, this is an interaction between Tom Shattuck and generation, I assume, a millennial or Z. This guy's obviously a vet. But I just want you to listen to how sucky younger people are at this whole thing these days. So, I tweet out the Maine Wire tweets out the video where they're showing him essentially making love to the porta potty. That's the whole joke. So, and I pretty much, I'm the host of that particular video. So this guy, retweets the whole thing and comments on it and says, and he's photoshopped the picture of me that I use. I usually make a promotion thing, and he's got me now with like some leather stuff on and gay pride flags on, whatever. So he's changed the Maine Wire video to just make me look like gay. and he's replying to, his name is Cole Adria 49217 on Twitter. It's Cold Stoned, he's saying. So he comes back at me and Steve Robinson in the meanwhile and says, come on now, we all know you have a pleasure dungeon filled with all the sex swings and pegging equipment for your wife to ream your fag ass. So he's put a little scenario together. So I think to myself, you know what? How should I answer this? What's the best way to answer this? And a lot of times I think that it's better to just go simple. And you never know how these are going to work out. And this is very juvenile. This is something that I like my kids, 10-year-olds say. But it's tried and true. And so I respond to him. I said, it's true. We practiced on your mom. To which he now was a tough guy and has gone right from tough guy into me getting pegged by my wife because I'm a FAGOT to a maniac. Oh, look, another reporter who was too scared to put on the uniform. Why don't you F off, you little needle dick sea sucker? Talking about people's moms? Shit, you better get bigger faster. I don't mind catching a charge to punch a point. And quit with attacking vets, C-word. He then photoshops another picture of me. He's on now. He's on the line. He said, so savage that the sweet little chin looks like you still got some jizz in it from the little boy you molested, ass clown, he says to me. You reporters have gotten too big for your britches and are about to find out what happens when you make fun of the men that fought your wars. You die. Now, I don't know that any of this stuff is happening. One of the Meanwhile reporters sent me one of the things, but we were on the air. I have no idea what's going on, and I was editing stuff. I do things for a living. And he says, then follows that up. And what is all this group sex bleep you want to do with my mom? More satanic pedo crap from the conservatives, I see. I will F you up and take that penalty on the principle, you little bitch. That's what makes me a man and you a C-word. Then he continues. And they are worried about what Graham Plattner said about having to beat off in a porta potties during war. This cuck is level biatch, runs his C-word mouth, then hides, just like he did during the whole GWAT. Remember to hit him with your car when he gets in the way. But he's not done. He's not done. He's very upset. Cold Stoned, Cole Adria says, Meanwhile, reporter runs mouth and runs and hides. Send a place we can do this charity fight and bring your whole editorial staff. I'll bring a couple of GWAT, that's Global War on Terror, if you don't know, vets, and we can find out what is really funny and who is really what, you little C-word. Now, I can tell you one thing, that I don't think if I bring the editorial staff and against his GWAT vet friends, that we're going to find out that they're funnier than us. I don't think that's it. He's not done. Meanwhile, reporter requests ass-kicking before going MIA because he's just a bitch. Of course, I was just simply working. And then he gets back. He's not done. Were you bleeping my mom while I was at war? That makes a lot of sense, you being a giant pussy and all. He's not done. Tom Shattuck is a piece of bleep that thinks making fun of the GWAT veteran's dark humor makes him a tough guy. Let's all show this Meanwhile reporter what we think of the little bitches that run their mouths and hide, especially to make more money on the backs of the GWAT guys. So, needless to say, it is a terrible look to attack somebody, call him the FAGGOT word, and then when somebody says, your mom, you're an unhinged little bitch about it, oh, that's freaking pathetic. Oh, good. I'm going to kill you now. I don't care. I'm doing it for my bro. Like, shut up. God. Oh. And by the way, Plattner can take it too. These people are so freaking monotonous. God, that's all you have? Anyway, I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed at the world that this is what we're dealing with. If this guy is not more clever than this, and that nobody, and that I think it says a lot that nobody, like there are people out there. I'm all the way out there. There's all sorts of stuff on me. There's stuff and pictures and home movies and etc. Hurt feelings in an effective way. I'm so worried. It's like, no, you know what? That guy's not going to get a job in a data center. He's too stupid. It's like, how many of these are there? Since when did we forget how to not be just, and I'm not going to use the word retards, but this is really like, it's just so pathetic. I want you to be better. One thing you can say about the Minifans is, there's a lot of things you can say about the Minifans, and I a lot of them are my friends. But I'll say, you know what I mean when I say it. One thing you can say about the Minifans is, a lot of them are really smart, and a lot of them, when they want to insult you, they put some freaking work into it, and it's so great, and it shows a creativity and an intelligence, and like, let's go with that. Oh God, pathetic. Which brings me to a great day for JD Vance. I really like him. I don't get sick of him. He took the podium today. It's good because he's such a good communicator, and I'll take this guy all day and night. You know, obviously the news is all up in arms about Trump's, all the money he's making and all the ventures. And like I said, I don't think he's doing anything illegal. I think a lot of it's like highly abnormal and probably unethical and certainly breaks norms. I don't care. Like, whatever. If you get him on something, find something illegal, and fine. Other than that, I don't care. The sons and the family are in business, and they're doing business.
Come on, man. Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions, because there were a lot of things in that.
What happened here?
Come on, man.
Oh, wait.
Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions, because there were a lot of things in that speech masquerading as a question that didn't actually get asked, okay? Number one, the president doesn't sit at the Oval Office on his computer on his Robinhood account buying and selling stocks. That's absurd. He has independent wealth advisors who manage his money. He is a wealthy person. He has had success in business. He's not making these stock trades himself. And your question imputes that.
I'm sorry that this is so the bizarre thing happened with the video and audio there. Okay, they asked him to talk about Pete Davidson's joke about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This was on the Chris, what's the guy's name? The comedian, he's a funny guy, black, short, Chris, it's not Chris Rock. Damn it, you guys know who I mean. Just fill in the blanks, you got it.
Pete Davidson, he made a horrific, obscene joke about the murder of your friend Charlie Kirk. What does this still say about where our political divisions have gone, and what are you specifically doing to bridge the divide, especially as a potential future president?
Well, sorry, who was it that said something?
Davidson made a really obscene joke about Charlie Kirk. So what are you doing as a potential future candidate or president to bridge the divide?
Well, first of all, I'm not a potential future candidate. I'm a vice president, and I really like my job, and I'm going to try to do as good of a job as I can. But let me just say this. So you talked about Pete Davidson, who said something bad about Charlie Kirk. Look, Charlie was a very, very dear friend, but more importantly than that, Charlie was a father of two beautiful kids, and he did not deserve to have all of those moments with his kids, all of those moments with his beautiful wife taken from him in the way that happened. I would expect everybody with a heart or a conscience would say whatever we agreed or disagreed with about his particular viewpoints, this is a tragedy, and it's totally unacceptable that it happens in the United States of America. To their credit, a lot of the reporters in this room, even though I don't agree with their politics, they were open about the fact that what happened to Charlie was disgusting and it shouldn't happen in a civilized country. You talk about bridging the divide. I mean, one thing that happened that hits, not quite literally close to home, but there was a very terrible shooting that happened today at a Muslim community center. It seems like 3 people are dead, plus the shooters. And, that community center is actually very close to this restaurant that Usha and I go to every time we visit. Her family lives in San Diego. She was born and raised in San Diego. Every time we go to San Diego, we go to this restaurant that is like maybe a 5-minute drive from this community center. And I found out about it actually on my way to the White House this morning, and I texted her. I said, would you have known anybody who was involved in this? And she said, absolutely, I would have known some people, or at least their parents, who might have actually used the services at this community center. I don't know a single person who would say anything other than what I'm about to say, which is that That type of violence in the United States of America is reprehensible, and I encourage every single American to pray for everybody who was involved and affected by it. We don't want that to happen in our country, and may God rest the souls of the people who lost their lives. What I do find a little distressing is that while every person I know, every politically conservative person I know would say exactly what I said about these innocent people who were killed, there were a lot of people who were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And I think one way that we can bridge the divide is just have a very simple principle in this country. Number one, we don't want the government throwing people in prison because they have bad politics, however you define bad politics. Number two, and way more importantly, political violence, wherever it comes from, is unacceptable in the United States of America. Let's talk with one another, not shoot each other when we disagree. I think that's the principle that everybody in this room agrees with. It's certainly the principle the President of the United States agrees with.
So I'd be interested to know from you guys, and I like what he said. I would also add to have, I know he's keeping his message disciplined, but it's also a comedy roast, and that should be the one place I think that you should be able to say whatever you want. Whatever you want. I think there should be a place, and those roasts have become that. Now, it does get like downright ugly sometimes, and you kind of wish that some of the stuff that they said it wasn't out there in the universe. And I was just listening to the Dana Carvey. Oh, come on, what's his name? Bye. God, my freaking memory. The Dana Carvey. Oh, God. David Spade. God, jackass time. I was listening to their podcast, which is a great podcast, and they actually like feel uncomfortable about these things. And I thought, well, that's interesting because I figured comedians would be all into it, but they don't. They're not like all into it. So that's interesting. Like, it makes me wonder, am I wrong? Should there not be a place where ultimate meanness comes? But I kind of feel like, that I think there should be, right? Shouldn't there be a place where everybody says the meanest crap in the world? I mean, ideally it's within a joke, but I don't know. I'd love to know what you feel. Here's Vance talking about what the European media thinks about Americans.
Look, I have, for my entire life, I'm 41 years old. For my entire life, I have heard chirping from the European media about everything that's wrong with the United States of America. We don't have this. We don't have that. We don't spend enough on health care, even though part of the reason why we spend so much on defense was because we have tens of thousands of troops in Europe. I think that if the European media wants to attack the President of the United States, they need to start looking in the mirror. All he has said is that we're going to be good allies, we're going to be good friends, we're going to be trading partners, but it is reasonable for Europe to take a little bit more ownership over its continental integrity.
Here we go. And also, you're hearing all this reporting and like these heavy pieces about since USAID was gutted or efficiencies were made, like all the people who are in Somalia having to walk and are trying to forage for food. And you know what? Euro trash, you guys can handle some of that. Okay, you handle the Somalis. We've done enough for the Somalis. Freaking enough. Here's Caitlin Collins goes at him about the January 6th payouts. This is something Trump's doing, using some workaround to get money out to some of the people who were busted on January 6th. And it's copying a template that the Democrats used for, I forgot what it was, but just, I mean, it's shady, but like they didn't invent it.
Told me that anyone who assaulted a police officer on January 6th should go to prison. So why not rule out giving them taxpayer-funded money?
Well, Caitlin, what I said is we're going to look at everything case by case.
But why not rule it out?
Because, Caitlin, there are people who I don't know their individual circumstances, and I don't rule things out categorically when I know nothing about a person's individual circumstances. Let's say a person is accused, let's say hypothetically, a person is accused of doing something that they never actually did, that they got a kangaroo court, that they had a judge who mistreated them. I think that we should look at those things case by case. We're not making commitments to give anybody money. We're just making commitments to look at things case by case.
So there you go. Let's see what else I have. President's final stock trade show. More of the stock trade stuff. This one's a little bit different, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The president's financial disclosures were released recently, and they showed a lot of stock trades in companies that he has talked up at events, official events at the White House, on his True Social account, sometimes even putting the stock ticker symbols in his posts and encouraging people to buy their stock. Americans, according to recent polling, are increasingly describing the president as corrupt. And trading stocks...
This is a hell of a question.
Thank you, sir. Trading individual stocks is something that you said that public officials should not be able to do when you ran for Senate all those years ago. And yet the president, who arguably has access to more non-public information than your average senator, is not only buying and selling individual stocks either through his trust.
Okay. What's the question?
The question is, the question, sir, is how can you and your administration argue to Americans that you're cleaning up corruption, you're preventing fraud, you're fighting the sorts of things that harm people and people's financial situations, when the president seems to be talking up stocks that he owns, selling them, and enriching himself?
Okay, so here, let me answer your question here. That was a doozy. Before I answer your question, I want to just observe there are different ways to ask a question. Okay, you can just ask a question and try to get your answer, or you could do like a speech where you say, you know, Mr. Vice President, you're a terrible human being, and so is the president, and so is the entire cabinet. And then I'm like, what's your question? And then your question is, how dare you? Come on. Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions, because there were a lot of things in that speech masquerading as a question that didn't actually get asked, okay?
It's so great, man. That's why he's so great. J.D. Vance is so great. I love him. He's so smart. So smart. So smart. Let's see. Plattner's advisor. Don't want those Democrats on No Kings for the No Kings.
The great ironies of this job is that for the past couple of years, you see these protests break out all over the country, and sometimes, you know, they're fairly well attended, and sometimes they're very poorly attended. Everybody holds these signs saying "No Kings," right? And how many Democratic lawmakers have I seen holding up signs that say "No Kings"? They are very, very insistent that we not have kings. And then King Charles comes to the congressional chamber, and these guys break out in rapturous applause. So maybe they don't care so much about kings as they pretend that they do. Maybe they just don't like the agenda that we're implementing that's actually making American workers and American families safe and prosperous again.
Here, here. Here, here. I'll take it. The No Kings thing is obviously moronic. We're such a stupid country. Oh. Let's see. Do we want... We've done enough with Platinum, right? Okay, let's do... this is Ted Daniels of Boston 25. And he is doing a piece on overtime and getting paid. Here's just one of the promos. There's a little bit... We're going to get more of this, too.
Just trying to get your side, sir. Is that fair to the other state workers and taxpayers?
So let me see if I can find more of this. I thought I had grabbed more, but it's just about overtime. And you know, obviously, you know, a part of the deal is when you get these jobs that you're going to get overtime. Somebody slaps you in the back and says, "This is how you're going to make your money. We're going to do overtime." Yada 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 yada. Okay, let me find the Ted Daniel thing. It's not. I thought I had more of it. Ted Daniel. And these stories are always good. And it's good reporting because a lot of reporters don't want to have negative interactions with the public or elected officials. But, you know, some of the older guys and women don't have a problem with it. And that's what they should be doing, obviously.
Hi, everybody. This is Ted. I'm enjoying some quiet time at my desk before the day gets busy. I want to tell you about a story that I have airing this evening on Boston 25. Massachusetts is a great state, but we all know it's no secret that it's very expensive to live here, and a lot of my reporting deals with how your tax dollars are spent. And this story fits right in there we got a tip maybe about almost a year ago, asking us to look at some of the highest paid highway workers for MassDOT. And these guys, I checked their payroll, it's all public data, and it's online, and they're all clocking double, and in some cases nearly triple their base salaries in overtime. One guy makes about $84,000 a year base. He clocked $240,000 last year with all his overtime, and that's a lot of money. And of course, highway workers need to work overtime when there's snow events and road emergencies. They keep our roads moving. But the consistent reporting of 16-hour and even 18-hour days sort of made me say, wow, that's a lot. Like, is that even safe for someone working heavy machinery to work that many hours? Like, you're just not able to sleep. So we decided to watch these workers, and we did that over the course of 200 plus days, and we found that time on the clock doesn't always appear to equal time on the job.
No.
And since we first questioned MassDOT about this, the state has taken some action, and we tried to speak with each individual that we profiled in our story, and you'll see that. So this one has probably been the heaviest lift in my career. I've been doing this a long time. I don't want to date myself, but it's been a long time. And
so anyway, you'll get it. Let me see if I can find another version. I love that he's doing journalism. I love that it's still a thing. And like always when you see these, when they bust somebody, it's always like fun to see them try to weasel out. Now that said, if you're a state highway worker, you get that gig. If you're allowed to, obviously, if you're stealing money from the taxpayers by not actually doing any work, then that's stealing money from the taxpayers. But the reason why they're doing it is that everybody else is doing it. Everybody's got a grift. Those guys have a grift. I think we've all worked jobs where people have said, slow down, slow down. I worked overnight at the Ritz-Carlton once, setting up for banquets in Boston. So my job was to overnight set up for morning meetings, move chairs and tables and table skirts and water jars and glasses and mints and this and that, vacuum the room, dance floors, that kind of thing overnight. And since I had worked at the Sonesta already with these crazy dedicated Guyanese guys from Guyana, I was really good at it. And a lot of times I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to find some after party or something. So I would just finish all the rooms. And they would be so angry at me. They'd say, what are you doing? Why are you finishing everything? We want to be here till 7 tomorrow. And I guess I was being a dick in a sense. But like I also just finished all the rooms. But, I don't really... In some things, what do you guys feel about the flagmen? Like the cops getting all the OT. That's kind of the deal. Yeah, over here, yeah, you may end up getting run over and killed or shot to death and being disabled for the rest of your life or something. On the other hand, you can get a bunch of overtime. And there's all these grifts. I don't know. I currently am not making $300,000 personally a year. If I was working somewhere I really didn't care about, like the highway department, like who thinks I want to work in or around highways? But if I did, and they said, you're making 71 right now, that could be 300,000 if you just do what the rest of us do. Ooh. Rationalization is a skill I have like anybody else. I try not to look God in the eyes, but other than that, that would be tough. Like if I found right now, if there was a mass dot truck with $10,000 of mass dot money in the truck, I would take that in a second if I thought I could get away with it. In a second. That's not even rationalization. I believe I'm owed it. So I don't know. I'm not going to give him all that much grief for that. Okay, let me go to the messages, the chat. Why can't I just say the words, idiot? Oh, and I'm a good person too. I gave $20 away today. Where is it? Okay, there's the messages. All right. I saw a message I don't like. Okay, need a new opening song? No, that's not true. That song's by me. I like it. I love it. People love that song. I get cards and letters about the song. It is increased viewership by twice. Cheswick says, the Valvoline place I went to stripped the drain nut on my transmission. Yeah, not this one. This one is fantastic. Tommy says, drain nut. List says, stop your illegal recordings. No, I have to do it for content. I do it for content. I'm not stopping their illegal recordings. It's like Alice. Every day, that's not legal, you know. What? There's no reporting me. Tom, we agree. I'm canceling my Burn Barrel Patreon to give more tips. No. This is how this works. I'm the aggregator through Patreon for all the gratuity. So it goes to me, and I use my discerning, practical, good sense to make sure I redistribute that to everybody. Splash said, only money by Shattuck dropping a shilling for the common man. Indeed, I did. These guys do an extraordinary job. Dr. Cheswick says maybe they'll go to a gay bar and kiss guys on the DL for beers. Julian Phil says, next time, hold off on the tip. And by the way, Julian Phil, I'll respond to your text. I haven't had a chance to see Alice in 2 days. Next time, hold off on the tip and get your lawnmower repaired. Tired of your whining about them. Just hoping eventually time will come over and fix it. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, the lawnmower repair is a different animal. That's a different set of money. Graham Plattner is the Mark Furman of politics. Yeah, kind of. Although Furman, that was just a screenplay, right? That he was talking to. Splash says, you never walked into a 160-degree porta potty in the middle of the summer and saw a massive log of bleep floating around, wadded toilet paper in gross blue water, and not thought about yanking it? I know. Tommy says, I'm starting to think Tom forced himself up. That is not true. Sexual assault at a minimum. That is not true. You guys met my friend Mike, Tall Mike, at a couple of events, and he was right there. Although I could use him remembering it a little better. Tommy equals Vito from The Sopranos. How dare you? A splash when they catch you scantily clad in biker leather at a gay bar dancing with men for free espresso martinis. Just say it's the heart medication. Cheswick says, Tom, the bleep. Yeah, no. If I was a gay man in going to gay bars, I was attracted to young men, I could just simply go and clean up. If that was attractive to me, I'd be so happy. It's if I was going somewhere and there was full of 22-year-old hot co-eds, and I did not slip a word there, hot co-eds, and they all wanted to sleep constantly. Oh my God! But no, it doesn't happen. Okay. Mainwire needs some junkyard dogs to fight the ultra-liberal wannabe tough guys. Caught the live stream for the first time today. Entertaining, but dangerously teetering on mayonnaise. Wait, what is that? Mayonnaise? What does that mean? Do you know what that means? Caught the live stream for the first time today. Oh, the Mainwire. Oh, because we're all white. Is that what that is? We're not all white, actually. There's a guy, we have a guy who's been on with us before named Abdi, who's Somalian, actually. But we don't hire by race. The pegging thing, a little true. Incorrect. Kevin Hart, that's right. That's what I meant. Kevin Hart. Gifted 1 subscription to Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel. Splash, thank you. Wow, guys, see that? That's because I paid it forward. Or did you gift it to me? I paid it forward, you see? Check. Tommy Andrew says, Webster, Tiny Archibald, Spud Webbs, Muggsy Bogues, No, what I was saying was the short comedian to just name short black guys. You don't hear enough of Webster mentioned though. Splash says he was gifted one. Tommy was gifted a membership by Splash. Don't you already have a membership? Splash says, "Oh bleep, that went through. Whatever." Gary Coleman, Splash is pounding beers. Beetlejuice. Okay, there's all sorts of. Sorry if I messed up the gift membership. So it's fine. Massey's gonna lose. It's too bad. I like most of what he says. I'm torn on Massey. I like that when his wife died and he got into single guy mode, he like immediately lost weight. And it reminds me of my friend Mike Montante. And like started hooking up. I don't know that it's a bad thing that he was remarried within a year. I don't know if that's a bad thing. But I think he's going to lose too. I don't love that he hates Israel. Steve from Merrimack, Dr. Cheswick, I lived in the same dorm as Ricky Lake. Really? My freshman year at Ithaca. She left school to star in the movie Hairspray. You totally hooked up with her, Steve. Absolutely. It was a good move on her part. Stage, then TV. Steve from Merrimack says she was a nice kid. Cheswick says she's not shy about her hair loss. Oh, she was doing that? But I was mocking Tom. One must mock Tom ceaselessly. Splash says Tom's going to eventually move to Maine. I'm guessing Bremen. And forget about the burn belt. Hell no. God. Julie and Phil say, hey, Steve from Merrimack, a great brush with greatness with Ricky Lake. I can top it. I once rode an elevator with Ted Kennedy at Boston Medical Center. What a tremendous experience. I wouldn't mind partying with that guy. Rented a condo from Christy Canyon in the mid-90s. Cheswick says, wow, I feel free to say whatever you want about her. She's very nice as well. She had concierge drinks. Christy Canyon was Katharine Hepburn of her profession. Oh, that's good. What was the smell like in the elevator? Okay. Just want to make sure. What's with Tom's shirt? This is so Alice can write his name. His name is Tom and he lives at. Oh yeah, no. This is a shirt of Alice when she was 18 years old. I tried to get it as Burn Barrel merch. Unfortunately, it looks like she died because it says Alice 2005. Her friend made this picture of her back then, and Alice categorized that as creepy and ended it. Mayonnaise like old school Michael Graham, limp-wristed neocon. I see, and now she's just this. No, in the main wire, I'm the only neocon. The other guys are like on Tucker's wing of this thing. Only Plattner can make a porta potty even bleepier than they actually are. Nice said. No. Okay. Steve banged China Beach, Ricky? Was she in China Beach? I don't remember. I remember that girl. Was it Dana Delaney? The woman who was in it was very good looking. All right, let's do the chat, shall we?
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Tom, I apologize about the text screed I attacked you with.
Thank you.
In the wake of yesterday's show. I think I made it clear that I was carrying a foreign load, so to speak, at that point. But I do have to address it again because I listened to the whole show again.
Yes.
The sound cut of Jebediah Troutmouth, whatever her name is, you played the sound cut. I understand why the word sex was bleeped out in the sound cut she was responding to.
Yes.
I didn't understand, and you didn't play, why the word sex was being bleeped out on her own show. Where did you get the sound cut? Was this like Mormon podcasters or something?
No,
Please
I got
explain.
it from Jedediah Bila. Here's the cut again.
Have a hypothesis. When society or religion or gender roles connect to duty, it stops becoming a choice.
A marriage without sex is a, broken marriage. I'm just going to say it. There's no way to have a healthy marriage if you're not having sex, because it's an important part of that union. The intimacy is important. The connection is important. The attraction is important. It's all important. So when you have a situation where there's no sex, there's a problem, right? It's not viewed as duty the way she's describing it. I mean, she's got this like as if it's Handmaid's Tales-ish.
Is not.
So, Steve, I think that Jedediah Bila did that herself. And I'm assuming that the reason is that she thinks that somehow that gets picked up in AI crawlers and recategorized as something bad or something. And these people, a lot of people overdo it with the filtering words out and stuff. And so I think she's just being cute with her social media. I don't like. It's not a bad word. Believe me, I've dealt with this. Like in radio, I've dealt with this like crazy, just crazy like amounts. It's just oh god. I remember one time at 96.9 we were having this Playboy model on, a Playmate of the Month, because I would reach out to, we were doing for the Fisher House, a military charity, and I would I would book a lot of the guests, and Michael Graham would book some of the guests, and I would always book a Playboy Playmate. I would tell them, I would pitch their PR person, tell them what we're looking for, and they usually find one who's like dad or uncle or even husband, like was in the military, and we'd use it as a way to bring a gorgeous girl in, and I would go on to her Playboy page. They would send me a link of her photos, and I remember going to the Playboy, the link she sent me of all her Playboy press photos, but it's playboy.com / and having the IT person, this chick, come down and say, yeah, we've been flagged that you're looking at playboy.com, that you're looking at pornography down here, and you can't do that. And I said, yeah, I'm looking at, because I want to get, for the webpage, I want to crop a photo of her to promote the thing so that we can, use this. She's like, we can't have you going to that website is not allowed in this company. So you don't get it. We're having the Playmate on the air with us to talk about us. We're not doing, this is all work stuff. And she said, no, policy is, When I was at WTIC, I tweeted about Steve Robinson on the Maine Wire 2 years ago. I tweeted, we're going to talk to Steve Robinson about some more crazy stuff happening in Maine. Somebody from the corporate freaking social media team from Odyssey called my program director, who then called me and said, you can't do that. You can't say the word crazy. Like freaking idiots. But I think they're just being overly cautious with stuff. I've worked with reporters, with producers who have dumped out when somebody said the word like penis or has said the word like jackass, meaning donkey. I'm like, why are you like dumping out of it? We can't say it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can say it. You don't have to. Oh, this is my long answer to that, Steve. That's what's going on there.
Everything's broken, and I can't mow my lawn. And, the fence is falling down.
It is falling down.
House needs work. But the kids went to Whole Foods to get snacks, and Alice likes a special drink from Starbucks.
Yeah.
And we only order meats from Baldini's in New York. I think there's a spending problem over there.
You are right about that, man. Alice's freaking Starbucks drink costs $8.40 for one drink. And she gets it most days. It makes her happy. And she's not like she hasn't been drinking, so she's not buying booze. And obviously that's a necessary expenditure. That's a commodity that's like oil. You can't. So I can't cut her coffee, or else we're gonna have to go to the table and cut it. Make a deal here.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Regarding Reese Witherspoon,
yeah,
aka Miss Dolphin Face.
Yeah,
which I don't get the reference, but it makes me laugh. I don't know.
She looks like a dolphin. Her face looks like a dolphin's face.
How you're coming to that description? But I used to really dislike her because she was Little Miss Perfect.
Until you saw the election or the DUI.
Until she was in that drunk driving incident with the video. Then I was like, okay, she's damaged. I can actually like her. So I hope you feel the same way, Tom. Thank you.
I do like her. But the election was also very fantastic. That drunk driving thing was so good because the guy she was with was horrified and was trying to he knew that the whole thing was being recorded. He was trying to make it good, but man, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Do I have that somewhere here? Is this when she started to DUI? Let me see if I can find the Reese Witherspoon DUI. Unfortunately, most DUI videos on Twitter now are like partially pornographic. Don't search across my channel. Just trust me. Trust me that I know what I'm doing here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the Reese Witherspoon thing. I don't know. I don't need Gene Siskel to pop right up when I'm here. Okay, here's a Reese Witherspoon DUI. 13 years ago.
What did I just tell you to do?
I'd like to know what's going on.
He's under arrest. If you don't get back
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm allowed to stand on American ground and ask any question I want to ask.
Go ahead. Come on.
You better not arrest me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
I told you to get in that car and stay in there, didn't I?
This is beyond. This is beyond.
You fight with me. I promise
This
you.
is harassment. You're harassing me as an American citizen. I have done nothing against the law.
Reese, can you please Yes, you have. You didn't obey my...
I have to obey your orders?
Yes, you do, Reese.
No, sir, I
Reese,
do not.
Tonight, Reese.
Absolutely nothing.
Reese.
I'm now being arrested and handcuffed?
Yep.
Do you know my name, sir?
Don't need to know.
You don't need to know my name?
Not quite yet. I'll get that
really?
information.
Okay. You're about to find out who I am.
I'm not real worried about you, Snail. I done told you how things work.
Georgia.
You want to get out and get up in my investigation? That's okay.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, guess what? We have a law for that. It's called obstruction.
I'm obstructing your justice.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'm being anti-American.
Yep. Go ahead, sit down.
Wow.
Sit your butt first. It'll be a lot easier on you.
Interesting.
Do you know my name?
Arresting me.
I tried. I'm sorry. I absolutely 100% tried. I have nothing to do with that. I know.
Yeah, we do like her, obviously. Obviously. And she's got a dolphin's face, Steve. Give it some time.
Hi, Steve from Merriman.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, man. Reese Witherspoon. A toothache of a human being, to quote Gore Vidal. Can you imagine this book club? Can you imagine the 10 women? I'm sure they're all 10 working moms. I'm sure Betty over here is a seamstress. She's got her own shop. She works 100 hours a week. And I'm sure Lila over here, she has her MBA and she's kicking ass in the working world.
Can you imagine? You're so right, Steve, how fake a freaking cabal of people this is.
You know, none of them know about AI. There's a reason why. I mean, these are the leisurely rich, as they say.
Yeah.
Do you think Reese has any normal human beings, typical people in her book club?
No.
God only knows what book they're reading. Whether I'm sure it's the collected, rejected poems of Maya Angelou. I'm sure that's the level that they're on. Oh God, she sucks.
I know.
She's still kind of hot.
She's kind of hot. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Dolphin face. Oof.
Tom, you played Reagan's famous 9 words, and then some politician just recently had their own 9 words. Well, I get 9 words for you. Mr. Shattuck, clean up that damn yacht of yours. My God.
Oh, did you see it? Yeah, it's got problems. I can't. I mean, it rained again today, dude, and it was 100 degrees, so I can't get the front part of it, and it's a push mower, and the freaking thing dies every 2 feet. You didn't even see the worst part. I mean, it can get in shape. Don't do what... The riding mower's busted anyway, and I'm too fat for it anyway. I'm going to freaking capsize if I'm on it. But the yard of mine needs to be cleaned up. There's no doubt about that.
Hi, Steve from Merriman.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, I'm Oliver Darcy, and I'm John Passantino. Welcome to the Lucky Lisp podcast. Did you know that 70% of women in Reese Witherspoon's book club don't understand AI? And that the 30% who do understand AI, only one of them knows what to actually do with it? I was so shocked.
Oh,
so
my.
please join us on our next podcast where we're taking a deep dive with local AI enthusiast Tom Shattuck, who'll make us all socially uncomfortable while instructing us how to make pictures of our current spouse kissing her younger self, or in our case, his younger self.
There's nothing wrong with that. You guys know there's nothing wrong with that. You're just not there yet. You know, I'm the future. You guys don't get it. And I want my data centers. I want all of them. I don't care what all the new right has against data centers. I want every freaking 5 feet to have a data center. Damn it. I don't like the water. Thank you. I mean, do I even talk during this part? This is the Alice part to talk. There's a new food show, the All You Can Eat podcast. Please join that if you don't mind. I'm glad you bought a subscription to this podcast from Patreon. Please tell your friends. That would be great. I'd love to grow it out. We're a really big, tiny podcast, but we have a great fan base and great friends. So, I mean, I think this is the way to go. One. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, kind of. Although Furman, like, that was just a guy said, by the way, you have another 1,500 miles before you have to get on. If I just could get my bleep together, I would tell you to take and to have to then say, okay. Because, you know, if he's saying that in Reddit, like, meanwhile, we put together a video stuff on, and so he's put a little scenario together. So I think to myself, and has gone right from tough guy into me getting pegged by my wife because I'm a FAT to a maniac. Kids, 10-year-olds say. But it's tried and true. And so guy charged to punch a point and quit with attacking vets, C word. He then photoshops another picture of me. He's on now. He's on the line. That the sweet little chin looks like you still got some jizz in it from the little boy you molested, ass clown, he says to me. Your reporters have gotten too big for your britches and are about to find out what happens when you make fun of the men that fought your wars. You die. I don't know that any of this stuff is happening. One of the meanwhile reporters sent me one of the things, but we were on the air. I have no idea all this group sex bleep you want to do with my mom. From the conservatives, I see. On the principle, you little bitch. That's what makes me a man, and you a C word.
With his beautiful wife. Taken from him
to Dina Carvey, and or the most important. I'm starting the car. I'm starting to pull out. Giving the oil change guy. Thank you, man. That's right. That's the sound of Tom Shattuck. The money.
Thank you. Take care. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. That's right. That's the sound of Tom Shattuck. version of he's not done.
There's actually very
podcast, which is a great,
they're fairly well.
It is when you get these in the eyes, but other than that, that would be tough. Like if I found right now, if there was a mass slowdown,
we decided to watch these workers, and we did that over the.
I love that it like still.